Welcome to CrashMagic, and in this video we've got my interpretation and performance of a trick called double stop that was devised by Frank Taylor, I think around 1950. If you like this one, I can certainly do a tutorial for it in the future. So for this performance we would have two spectators with us, and I'd explain that we were going to have each select a card and then I would attempt to find their cards, but both the selecting and finding would be done in two different ways. So starting with Spectator 1, they would be in control of the cards that they were going to have, but also the cards that Spectator 2 would have. So I'd ask Spectator 1 to cut off a small portion of cards off the top of the pack and to give those to Spectator 2. Then to cut a large section of the middle, leaving another small packet at the bottom for Spectator 2. So Spectator 1 has done the cutting of these cards. There's no way that anyone knows how many cards are here or what cards are here, how many cards they've given to Spectator 2, and there's no way anyone could know what this card is here. But I would ask Spectator 1 to now look at and remember this card. I'm going to look away so I can't see it, and once they'd remembered it, place it back on top of their pile and then cut it right into the middle. So that's Spectator 1's card found. Spectator 2, now I would ask them to take this pile of cards and to give it a good shuffle, and then I'd ask them to select any of their cards. I wouldn't be touching Spectator 2's cards at any point during this trick, but they would choose any of these cards that they liked, look at it and remember it. Again, I'm going to look away, and once they'd remembered it, I'd ask them to place it back on top of this pile, take their other pile of cards and again shuffle the cards well. So now both spectators have chosen a card in different ways. I would try and find the card, starting with the card that Spectator 1 had chosen. So for this I would take the cards and look through the cards, and I'd ask Spectator 1 while I was doing this to think carefully about their card and to picture it in their mind, try and create a really clear vision of that card, including the value and the colour and the suit. Okay, I think I'm getting an idea of what your card might be. Yeah, this is tricky. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to write it down, what I think your card is. Let's tear that off. And I'll just fold that up as well so it can't be seen. And we'll place that here. That's the card that I think Spectator 1 has chosen. Now back to Spectator 2 then and finding their card. As I said, I would not be touching these cards at any point during the trick. So I'd ask Spectator 2 to deal cards one at a time off their pile and place them down here until I ask them to stop. In fact, I'd get Spectator 1 to join in as well, so they can deal the cards together one at a time until I ask them to stop. So they would do this, both working together to deal the cards off at the same time. Until I would say stop. So again, I would not have touched Spectator 2's cards at any point during this trick. They shuffled their cards and chose their cards, and of course the number of cards that they had were dictated by the amount of cards that Spectator 1 gave them. I'd ask them to stop at this point though, and I think this might be Spectator 2's card, so I'd ask them to turn this card over, and hopefully, of course I don't know, hopefully the 2 of hearts was their card. Back to Spectator 1 then. Again, if you remember, they just cut a pile from the centre of the pack. They could have cut anywhere. Then they selected their card and cut it into the middle. Just by looking at the cards and by the spectator thinking of their card, I wrote down the card that I thought was theirs. And hopefully their card was the 7 of hearts with any luck. So 2 cards selected by 2 spectators in different ways and found in different ways. One last thing though for spectator 1, I'd ask them to turn over this card as well, and hopefully this would also be their card, the 7 of hearts. That then is the end of this card trick performance, and I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them down below, and see you soon.